So today we are going to be graphing ellipses with the center at 0, 0. The chart you will be using is on page 620. So here's our equation. X squared over 25 plus y squared over 16 equals 1. We will also be identifying the focus and the vertices. So you want to look at the denominator and decide which of those is the larger denominator to determine your a squared. So this one is larger, so this is a squared, and this is your b squared. If you're looking at the chart on page 620, you'll see that it is in the form of a horizontal ellipse. So we will be looking at the information for that column. So a squared is larger, and it's going to be the main things will be graphed on the x-axis, which is a horizontal axis. So a squared is 25, b squared is 16, so I'm going to identify my a, my b, and my c. So since a squared is 25, a is 5. Since b squared is 16, b is 4, and we will solve for c here in just a minute. So these, since it's just x squared and y squared, the center is at 0, 0. So there's our center. It is a horizontal ellipse, so the foci and the vertices will be graphed on your x-axis. So a is the distance to the vertices from the center. So from the center, I'm going to go to the right 5. And there's going to be one vertex. And I'm going to go to the left 5. And there's going to be another vertex. So the ordered pairs for the vertices are at, since it's on the x-axis there, they are at 5, 0, and negative 5, 0. The value of b here gives you the distance from the center to the other endpoints on, in this case, the y-axis. So from the center, I'm going to go up 4, and you'll have another endpoint there, and from the center, I'm going to go down 4, and you'll have another endpoint there. So here's an outline of your ellipse. We now will identify the foci, which are c distance away from the center. So the relationship we can use is c squared equals a squared minus b squared, or you can also use b squared equals a squared minus c squared, which is on the chart on page 620. Either of these will work. So for today, I will use this one. So b squared is 16, so I will have 16. Is that equal to a squared, which is 25, minus c squared. So go ahead and do the math. So we're solving for c squared. So subtract 25, so we will have negative c squared equals negative 9. So c squared equals 9. So since c squared equals 9, c equals the square root of 9, which is 3. So this is the distance from the center to each of these foci points. So from the center, I'll go to the right 3 and label that as a foci or a focus point, and to the left 3. Okay, so those will be the ordered pair for your foci. So they will be located at 3, 0 and negative 3, 0. Okay, we will do one more. This one here is the equation you will be given. So the equation is going to be 4x squared plus 5y squared equals 20. So you can see it's not set equal to 1, so we want to have it so it's set equal to 1, so we can utilize our chart. So I'm going to divide each term by 20. So the 4 will cancel out from the numerator, and we'll be left with x squared over 5, plus here the 5 will cancel out from the 20 in the denominator, will be left with y squared over 4. Now it's set equal to 1. So now it's in the standard form for us to identify everything. So since this is larger again, this is our a squared, here is our b squared. So a equals the square root of 5, which I'll leave it like that. B is going to be the square root of 4, which is 2, and we will solve for c here in a moment. So let's go ahead and graph it. So when we are graphing it, again, we have the center at 0, 0 because it's just x squared and y squared. So this is another horizontal ellipse. since the larger denominator is associated with the x-axis, which is a horizontal axis. So the distance to the vertices is going to be the square root of 5, which is approximately 2.5. So we'll go over about 2.5. That will be a vertex. And we go to the left 2.5, and that will be another vertex. So the ordered pairs for the vertices will be located at plus or minus square root of 5, comma 0. Since b is 2, that's going to be the distance to the endpoints on the y-axis. So from the center, I'm going to go up 2 and down 2. And we'll have a sketch of our ellipse. Now I'm going to solve for c. So the relationship I'm going to use is the b squared equals a squared minus c squared. So we'll substitute in what we know. So b squared is 4. So we'll have 4 equals a squared is 5 minus c squared. So we will solve for c squared. So c squared is going to equal 1. And then the square root of 1 is going to be, again, 1. So that'll be distance from the center to each of the focus points. So on the horizontal axis here, because we have a horizontal ellipse, I will go to the right one and to the left one, and those will be the ordered pairs for each of those focus points. So we'll identify those as plus or minus 1, comma 0. Thank you.